Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with our super special sensibility, whatever you want to name it. Um, Obviously, Witcher Sense comes to mind. I heard Red Dead Redemption has done it before. Haven't played that one myself. I know, bad Robert. But anyways, um, we're gonna go ahead and continue on, and we're gonna do the overlay now. Technically speaking, strictly speaking, the majority of what I am doing, if not all of it, technically I think all of it, all that I am doing could easily be in the post process material. However, that would then require you to figure out all of that extra math and having it turn off when not in sense or however you want it. So it makes things more rigid, and I don't want there to be a popping out of effects when I go to interact with something with Narrative Pro, or if you have your own interaction system, and have it change the overlay material or add an overlay material, which would then alter the what's going on in a way that I don't like it. Overlay materials, it's a very cool thing that they shadow added. I never even heard about it. It was never announced. It was just there one day, and I haven't gone back since. So we are going to create an overlay material, um, and again, quite complex. But there's no educational learning type of stuff that we have to do really in this one. So we are going to just go ahead and jump into this and get things set up exactly how they should be. Again, I won't just be saying do this, do that. We're going to create one. So create a new material. I'm going to call this m underscore delete me so I don't forget. And I'm going to open it up. Now there's a couple things we're going to want to do. And I lied, there's a little bit of educational instruction that's about to happen. Let's take a look at the base pass shader, 171 instructions. First thing we want to do is we need to change the blend mode. Technically speaking, you can go with translucent, additive, or modulate, I believe. But let's take a look and see which is cheaper to start with. Translucent is 344 instructions. Additive, 278. Modulate, oh, okay, nope, can't modulate. It was one of the other ones. 344, can't use that one either. Yeah, we're using the surface one. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. So we are going to go with additive. And then also, we're going to change this to unlit. 130 instructions. And it leaves us with only 3 pens. Because we don't need a crap ton of detail. It's an overlay material. We just want to bring more. We want to catch the player's eye. So that's what we're going to do here. So let's go ahead and get started with this. And we're going to start by creating our wave effect because I want to show it off. And then by the time we're done with it, you'll be able to determine whether you want the wave effect. As you can see, I've got one going. It's a little difficult to see, but we're going to see it very clearly very soon. I'm going to create a material instance of delete me, and I'm going to replace their overlay. As you can see right now, nothing's there. It's all grayed out. That's fine. Now then, come over here. The opacity to 1. We hit apply. That's what I thought. Everything's back to normal, as it should be. Now let's create this wave effect here. we need to get a node called pre-skinned local position. What is this one? Oh, right. Just get local position. Sorry. Forgot they added that in here. So get local position and then the local origin pre-skinned. Now the next thing we want to do, I've got mine set up in a way that makes it to where we control the angle of the wave. Um, and I will show you what I mean in a little bit. For now, what we're going to do is get uh, component, component mask. We're just going to get R. Then we will hit D. Yeah, D will give us divide. And S for size. I mean, for the scalar parameter, and this will be wave size. I'm going to put it at 100 for now. And then we're going to hold down, no, search for power. Then hold down the S key again for wave power. We'll make this a 1. And then we need to search for vertex interpolator. Don't ask me what it does. Outside of that, it interpolates things to vertex, the vertex interpolation stuff. All I know is that it works. Hold down A for the add, M for multiply. Then we're going to right click and search for time, not timer, time. You can tell that I use the timer stuff a lot. And then hold down the S key again for wave speed. I'll put this at 0.5. Just like that. Alrighty here. 1 second, my dog is barking. Alright, now if I'm not mistaken, we're not going to see anything. Oh, yes. I was mistaken. Probably because we also need to put it there. Let's find out. To show this off properly, I'm going to go back to default lit. Get rid of those. Place that right here. Hit apply. Interestingly, this is not working as it should be, at least from what I recall. 1 second while I see if there's something I'm missing. Yeah, having to get the dog made me miss the rest of this. My bad. So next, well, we don't need that. We need to look for sine, S-I-N-E. Hold down A for add. Keep the B empty and at 1. Hold down M for multiply. Change the B to 0.5. I don't think this, at this point, will do anything. Oh, it is. Look at that. We got ourselves a wave. Now if I hit apply, we have a wave. Now then, we come here to this R right here, and I change it to R and G, and I hit apply. It's now coming from for an angle. We can open this instance up of it. As you can see, we're making changes to it. We'll also do 200. Now, obviously, if this is you want a color like this, you've got that possibility too. But that's not something we're going for. If we right click, convert this to a parameter, wave direction. Now, the next thing we need to do is, sorry, I had to see which one we needed first. Next thing we need to do is get an add, and then a 1 minus, put that into B. Next thing, the first thing we'll do though is I'm going to move this back to unlit. Put this into opacity. And for now, emissive color. Set apply. And for now, everything is as it should be. These are masks. Now that we have this mask ready, we will name this C Wave Effect Controls. Perfect. Now, before we do anything else, let's pull out of here, as we need reroute nodes. Wave controls. We'll keep this color here. So I'm going to copy and paste it. And then this one will be wave mask, because I'm going to get the emissive stuff ready. And for that, we need to pull out of the 1 minus, cheap contrast, hold down the S key, emissive wave contrast, change this to say 5, and then get the power node, and hold down the S again, emissive wave power, this at a 1. Let's see. Yep, look at that. Now if I hit apply, you can see from which direction it's coming. It's not gonna. It's gonna look a little weird, but look, as you can see, changes are being made. Now you'll notice though, it's not actually doing much as far as angles go. It looks like it is because of the shape of the item, but I promise you it's not. And because I want you guys to have that kind of control, we're going to go ahead and add that in here before continuing on. I didn't do it right away because I wasn't sure in theory. And now I'm glad I didn't, so that in theory I know that that's not going to work that way. So what I did, hold down L for alert. copy and paste our wave direction. And I'm going to name this one wave direction 2. Plug that into B, into A, just like this. Hit apply and save. Oops, forgot. Now then, if we do this, yeah, it's a lot harder to see. So if it's just R, you can see that it's going this way, right? If we go with G, look at that, diagonal. So we know it's working. B, we now know the whole thing is working exactly how we wanted it. Because this will feed into the emissive, the wave mask. Now, the next one that we want is the Fresnel controls. So let's go ahead and do that. Because Fresnel controls are everywhere. I'm telling you, it's used a lot. Let's make this substantially easier, actually. We need to get our collection parameter, sense. Let's get the color going. So visually, it makes this easier. And I will go for just one normal. For now, that's all we need. Come up here to color. Yes, the next thing we need is the Fresnel controls. So that's what we're going to do. Hold down M. Hold down M. Bring that all the way over here. Just like this. I believe it was multiplied in. No, it was lerped in. It's fine. We can deal with that later. A little smoother now, as you can see. Not so jittery. All right, so let's get the Fresnel stuff made. Now, Fresnel or Fresnel, or however you want to say it, is a very interesting one. If we search for it, Fresnel. I know, not really how it's spelled, but here we are. I'm going to create another mask because we will be using this in a few places. Or not a mask, another named reroute node. Fresnel controls. Now, first thing we want to do, hold down S. Fresnel exponent. Make it a 3. Down another S. Fresnel reflect fraction. And I kept it at 0.04. Now let's just do it this way for the moment. Fresnel controls. We'll hit apply here. As you can see, the change has changed quite a bit. There's one more effect. There's one more node that I have in here. I personally liked it. I liked the end result more. But if we get ourselves a scene texture node, and we search for world normal and plug the color directly into normal and hit apply. Look at that. Much better, right? We got ourselves a 3D looking effect on the wave. And that's what I was going for. So, learned something new, right? After that, we're going to go into a whole bunch of multiplies. I'm going to keep this just like that. Well, I don't need it right now, actually. I don't need to do that to you guys. Now let's hold down the M key for a multiply. Plug that in here. And hold down the L key for alert. And the alpha is actually the wave mask. So wave mask, and plug that in right there. And then hold down another L here. Place that right there. Hold down A to get an add. Plug these in just like that. This will get quite complicated quite quickly. So let's first, so we don't forget, plug that in right there. Don't need that one. As you can see now, the color never fully leaves. We may actually be able to show it here. It may just be a consistent color. Now, see, now it's highlighting all the time, just one of it's lighter than the other. And now we're going to take complete and total control over that. Hold down the S key, emissive strength. I'll put it at 1. And then we're going to pull out of here, get an add, put that into B here, that into A. Next, hold down the M for a multiply. Again, put that in here. We're doing this in an attempt to make sure that we have as very little hard-coded information as possible, allowing things to be completely controlled through us. This next one we will name sense emissive strength multiply your additive. Now I say multiplier additive because it multiplies then also adds. So this is how I choose to do that. And this alpha right here, we're just going to turn on for now. It's not something that we need to worry about at the moment. Comment turn on effect set here. That way it's easy to find later for the next episode when we set all this up. Go ahead and move this up here because we need to get B taken care of, which we need another L. That same alpha goes right in there. And now we need another S for wave emissive strength additive. Make this, we'll keep it 0. Now we need this exact same setup. Copy, paste. Place U here. A of the multiply, A of the add, and into the lerp, A. And then this sense emissive strength goes into the multiply right there. And this add goes into the B. Now then, if we hit apply, you'll see that we've got just a plain old standard effect because we had that emissive set at 0. So if we come in here, it's called wave emissive strength additive. Oh, that's why. It's called an additive because it's adding it right here. 5. Look at that. There we go. So for emissive, we are done. Just the emissive part. We still have the other two that we need to do. So I'm going to move this out of the way. So we can work on other things. Because we need to get the opacity working how we want. And for the opacity, where is the mask? Right there. We have texture controls. It really helps. I'm going to default this to 1 just so that I can see that it's doing its thing. Okay. Now you're going to recognize this if we hit, hold down the F key and then click. We're going to get the motion underscore four-way chaos. Now we need a texture coordinate. Multiply. S. Tiling. I'm going to set it at 20. You can set it to whatever you want. We will place that right in here. S for texture speed. Default it to 0.5. S. No. Texture density. 0.25. And then we need a texture object. Parameter. And I just named it texture. Okay, I no longer have it selected. Again, find whatever texture you want. I'm just sticking with the fire one for now. I'm going to plug that in. Now, we don't need all of the colors. So component mask. And I prefer the G in most cases. It can be R if you want. But put that in there. Look at that. Apply. Very, very nice. If I do say so myself. Obviously, it's not very strong. So you may not want it strong. But if we come over here and we go to 5, make that a good strength. And then this additive here, make it a 5. We have a fairly nice wave going on here. Looks awful on this square. So I'm going to remove that. But there it is. But that's not all we have to do, of course. There's a few other things that we need to make sure that we set up. And the first one, which I think is really cool, I think that is the only place we use it, so I'm just going to not worry about separating that. We need to multiply. Texture goes into B. And then the Fresnel controls go in there. now, if I hit apply, look at that. Even more different. Next thing we want, we'll hold down the M. This way, this is so that if you want some additional control over the opacity, you'll have it. Honestly, this should actually be at the... No, we'll keep it there. I don't want to mess with it because I know it works. And we want it defaulted to 1. Hold down another M. We'll now put the wave controls here. So right now there's no wave controls on this. It's all changing because of the emissive. Now let's see what happens when we also changed it because of that. Not much of a change, so honestly you can decide whether you take it or keep it. Me, I choose to keep it. Wave control. Alright. The next thing we want is a lerp node. Plug it into B. A will be left empty. We need to get a scene texture node. And we now need to get a custom. We need to be custom depth. Hold down D for a divide. Again, and add. B will put 0.0001. That way there's always a number. Hold down M for multiply. 100 so that we make it meters instead of centimeters. And then we need our parameter collection. And this will be the sense distance that we made in the last episode. And we'll place that mask right in here in the alpha. And that will go into the opacity. I believe that is correct. Let's hit apply and find out. See if I broke anything. Let me see what my settings are so that I can mimic them. Da, da, da. I've got the tiling set to 5. That alone helps a bit. I'm going to pause it real quick so that you guys aren't wasting your time here. Alright, so for those that want everything to be identical, emissive wave contrast I changed to 0, the Fresnel is at 0.5, and the Fresnel fraction is at 0.1. That's what got me here. Oh, and the texture size I changed from 20 to 5. So it makes things a little better. I want you guys to be able to see this, so I'm going to change this to 20. No, let's go crazy. 200. So the wave isn't going to be showing now because at this point the emissive is so high that the wave won't do its thing. Because it's an additive. At least I don't think it will. Let's find out. We shall find out together. Aha. There we go. So I want you guys to be able to see it. Did I not apply it? By now, it's supposed to be gone. And it usually is. At least it is in my example here. Let me see if I did something wrong here, because I bet I did. Now that I'm looking at it, I did. We need to saturate here on this mask, and then a 1 minus. And now we're not going to see it. If I get close enough, you'll see that it's starting to, it fades in and out. That's what we were looking for. Okay. The next thing we want, sorry, I'm trying to clean it up a little bit. I'll stop and do that later, is the default on. But before we do that, let's go ahead and hold down the L here, put that into the B, and I'm going to hold down 1 to get a scalar. I'm going to make it default to 1 for now. I think that's how I want it, and I think it should still work. Hit apply. Yes. I'm doing that so I don't forget for the next episode. Copy this comment right there. So now we need to decide whether we want it to be default on. Because you may have some that you only want showing up when your sensibility is going, and some that only show up, that are always showing up. So for that, we're going to do static switch parameter default on question mark. And if it's false, come into this lerp. If it's true, skip this lerp so that you're automatically on. We'll do that. Perfect. Default on will leave as false. That way, once we do everything, we are good to go. Now, the next thing that we need to do, and I'll show you why before we do it, compile and save. I hit play. You see how my hair is disappearing? We need to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, because I have my stencils all set up, which we will do in the next episode, obviously there's stuff that you guys need to do for this to work properly. My body's not doing it. Otherwise, my body would also be doing this, like I'm sure your guys' is right now. So we're going to fix that right now. So no matter what, we don't want this effect ever showing up. So we need another scene texture node. This one a stencil. Another if node. We'll make the B a 200. One, one. Make the top one a 1, and A equals B will be 1. The other two will be 0. Hold down M for a multiply. Place that in here. Now if we hit apply and save, the hair should be back to being normal. Interesting. I'm not showing that here. That's pretty funny though. Yeah, I don't have a one reverse in mind, but it's somehow working. Well, go. That's back on. And you'll see the hair is working. So I swear to you, if we look at mine, I don't have the one minus node. But this time it did need it. And I don't know why, but I'm not going to question it either because it's working. Oh, I do know why. I see exactly why. Let's put that back in there because I like to keep things organized. 1 is actually supposed to be in the top and bottom ones, and 0 is in the A equals B. Apply and save. Now then, I'm going to turn this down because the last thing that we need to do is a really cool effect. I'm going to make this 10, 5. Actually, we'll put you back down to 5. Make you a 2. There we go. Really like it though. The next thing, I'm not even sure if I'm going to use it, but I really like it. So I have it in there just in case I choose to. We're going to give it a shell. What I mean by that is if I look for a vertex normal WS, hold down the M for multiply, and then hold down S again, get effect shell. We're going to keep it at 0, and we'll place it right here. Apply and save, and we are going to immediately not see a single difference. But we will in a second. Now, if we look for effect shell, I'm going to give it 10. I know why we're not seeing it. 1 second, let me change this post-process. Give me a second. Interestingly enough, I'm not seeing it. I want to see if mine has the same problem. I could have sworn it was working. Give me 1 second. Alright, so it occurred to me in my testing that it might have been some of my code, and it was. So it was me getting this fade effect. So when I get far enough away, it fades it away. So I myself went ahead and just didn't see it as necessary at that point. And that's because I didn't want to have to track it in Blueprint with dynamic materials and check a whole bunch of things. To me, just having this bit of performance um, increase, not having to keep track of everything that I overlap with, is just easier for me. So that's going away on my end. And another thing that occurred to me is for this whole time, this may not have been working for you guys. Because I forgot about something. That is 100% my fault. And I realized that when I decided to start testing it on other things. So if I come over here, and I put this skeletal mesh here, physical material. There it is, overlay material, and I put this on there. Nothing's going to happen. You guys have probably been doing this whole time, trustingly watching this episode, and if you've been going step by step, you've probably been pulling your hair out, and I'm sorry for that. It would be a lot for me to restart this episode, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to tell you what you need to do. Come in here into custom. Yeah, it still shows. You can search for rendering or depth or custom, and you'll find it here under rendering, render custom depth. All you got to do is check mark it, and it comes on. Um, but we'll go deeper into the stencil in the next episode when we're setting everything up. So, now that we've done that, that means, technically speaking, everything here is pretty much done. But I want to do one other thing to show you what you need to do and set up to make it to where this stays the same. What I mean is, right now we're green and white, so we need to make sure that we set this up correctly. I mean, obviously, I could select this and change it back to 1, but I want to show you what to do here. That way you can do it yourself. So obviously I'm going to copy this, paste it, and I'm going to get mine is 2, and I've named it ally because all my allies will be this. I'm going to hold down the L key for lerp. Place that here, and that here, that right there. For now, we would get some weird gray-green color, and that's not what we want. Now, technically, you could make it a switch if you wanted to, but in the rare instances where you have when you're you have your sense on, or you're interacting with somebody, and they go from ally to neutral, or it goes from any other stencil to another, you don't want it to just clap on. You might. I need to set it up in post process to where it transitions instead of just popping, if it's possible. If it's not, it's not. But if you want to transition between the two, then this is what you're gonna want to do. Hold down the S key to get this. Is ally question mark. And we'll place that here. We'll hit apply. Save. We won't see any changes. But if we come in here, find is ally, change it to 1, the green is on. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is everything on the material side of things. So in the next episode, we'll get to changing this to what it should be, because at the moment, technically, our sense is on 24/7. So we're going to get that turning off and having things adapt and change at runtime. See you in the next episode.